In this video I am going to say about trigonometric graphs. In this, the first one is sin x graph. So in the sin x graph, let us examine the values for 0 degrees, 30 degrees, 45 degrees, 60 degrees and 90 degrees. Generally, sin 0, 0, sin 30, 1 by 2, here 1 by root 2, root 3 by 2 and 1. Here the value of sine function increases as the theta value increases. So as theta value increases, the value of sine function also increases. So now let the limits be 1 and here minus 1. So 1 to minus 1 is the limit of sine graph and here it is the 0. So sine 0 is 0. So initially it is at 0 and gradually it increases. It is at pi by 2 it becomes 1. So at pi by 2 it becomes 1 and again decreases and it increases and the graph proceeds like this, in this way. So here it is pi and it is 2 pi. Now here from here to here the graph is like this. Again from 2 pi onwards the graph is repeating. So this distance from here to here is 2 pi. So this 2 pi is called as period. So the period of sin x graph is 2 pi. So period is equal to 2 pi for sin x graph. Now for cos x also we are going to derive the graph. So in this, let's write some values, that is 0 degrees, 30 degrees, 45 degrees, 60 degrees and 90 degrees. Here cos 0, 1, cos 30, root 3 by 2, cos 45, 1 by root 2, cos 60, 1 by 2 and finally cos 90 is 0. So as the angle increases, the value of cos decreases. So now we are going to draw graph for cos x. Here the limits of the cos function also from 1 in positive direction and minus 1 in negative direction, and this is 0. So here cos 0 is 1. So initially it starts with 1 and the graph comes to 0 at 90 degrees. 90 degrees is pi by 2. So it is pi by 2 and again it decreases. So this graph also proceeds like this and here onwards the graph repeats again. So this is pi and this is 2 pi. So the distance between these 2 points is also 2 pi. Hence the period of cos x function is 2 pi. So if you get any question that what is the period of the cos x function, then we can write the period of cos x function is equal to 2 pi. So now the function and the period of the different functions we are going to learn in this table. So now let us take group A, that is sin power nx, cos power nx, secant power nx. In the same way cosecant power nx. So for this all the period remains same. So that is, the period is 2 pi if n is odd. If the n is odd, the period of this function is 2 pi. And the periodic function is pi if n is even. So now, for tan power nx and cot power nx, so for tan power nx and cot power nx, the period is pi even though the n is even or odd. So if, for example, for tan x, tan square x, tan cube x, cot square x, for anything, the period is pi. And in the same way, for modulus functions, that is mod sin x, mod cos x, mod tan x, mod secant x, mod cosecant x, mod cot x. So for these all, the period is also pi. The period is pi even if the n is even or n is odd. But other than trigonometric ratios, like if you consider general algebraic terms like x, root x, x squared, x cubed, and so on. For this all, the period can't be determined. So the period can't be determined for these algebraic terms. For these all algebraic terms. So we discussed that the period of sin x is 2 pi. But what about the terms like sin 2x, sin 3x? So like this will be there now. So how to find period of these terms? Let us discuss. So now, let us consider these 3 terms Bn. So then, sin nx. For sin nx, the period is 2 pi by n. But for sin x by n, see, sin x by n can be written as sin of 1 by n into x. So that is 2 pi by 1 by n. So that implies 2 pi n. So the period of sin x by n is 2 pi n. So sin x by n period is 2 pi n. So now for sin 2x period is 2 pi by 2, that is pi. For sin 3x 2 pi by 3. For sin 4x pi by 2. So like this we can calculate the period of sin 2x, 3x, 4x and so on. So we discussed about sin x, but now we are going to discuss about the cos x. So for cos nx, the period is 2 pi by n, and for cos x by n, the period is 2 pi by 1 by n, that is equal to 2 pi n. So now we can say that periodic function. So we can say that the sin x, cos x, tan x and so on, all the 6 trigonometric ratios are periodic functions. So periodic function. So what is this periodic function is? Let us go into the definition. If you consider, let f of x be the periodic function, then it should satisfy that f of x plus k is equal to f of x. If this equation is satisfied, then it is called as the periodic function. So here, what is k? So k is period. So the k is period of f of x. So for example, f of x is equal to sin x. Then here f of x plus k is equal to f of x. So in the place of k, substitute 2 pi plus x. So in the place of x, substitute 2 pi plus x. Then sine of 2 pi plus x is equal to sin x. So sin x is f of x and sine of 2 pi plus x is f of 2 pi plus x. So here the k value is equal to 2 pi. Hence the 2 pi is the period of sin x. Sin function period is 2 pi through problematic way and through theoretical way. Thanks for watching my video. If you like, please subscribe, share and comment to get notifications regarding our video.